I'm live. Great. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, clients and friends. So many of us now in the modern world aren't really resting at night. We're even in our own bed, trying to get some sleep, trying to get some rest. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. And so, a stream like this, I just was called to go live and just I'm talking to you all each day while you're on the table. You're getting polarity therapy. You're getting craniosacral work. You're getting more of a shamanic, somatic guidance on the table where you notice your body. I'm saying notice yourself. Use your thoughts to notice your body sensation and weight. Bring that in um, rather than having the thoughts going way off out there somewhere. And so here I am live on the Raw Princess channel. I'm C. Cummins. I'm a licensed massage therapist, body worker in Oregon and California. And I'm nationally certified body worker for quite some time. And really my background is polarity therapy, which is holistic. For a very long time since I was a kid, I've studied and tried out and practiced a lot of different just way of natural living in harmony with nature. And it's so amazing. It's really, really amazing. And apparently, from the what I hear from my clients and even my own family of origin, that is unusual. There's a lower percentage of human beings, at least in the United States, that are familiar with natural living, that are familiar with living close to the earth. What does earthing mean, for example? Earthing, EARTHING. That would be the number one thing to start sleeping better at night for you guys, for my clients, is to spend at least 15 minutes with your bare feet on the ground, outside on some grass. It can even be sand. It could even just be a little bit of dirt. It's okay. You just put your feet and sit down. If you want to read a book, it can be day or night, but getting a little bit of sunshine during that time is also going to help the sleep. And our skin makes vitamin D. And so earthing is where you physically touch earth and trees and be around plants too, especially if you can. That's even prescribed by naturopathic doctors now, is to go, for example, and just lay down in between a circle of wonderful like pine trees in a forest, to go lay down just for at least 20 minutes, half hour is best too. And why is that? Because we are the earth. We are part of the earth. We depend on earth for our oxygen, the trees, for example. And there's more to it. There's something physiological. And yes, there's even been research on this. I don't have the link for you here. I think you can probably find that fairly easily by Googling it or go to DuckDuckGo. But what I'm saying is there's research that shows that sitting on the ground like the beach or the woods or forest bathing like they do in Japan, it's a real thing, lowers inflammation. I think they said between 15 and 20%. The inflammation in the body was measured on their subjects in a double-blind, placebo-controlled, research, peer-reviewed, published in a medical journal studies. So time spent, we don't really need those studies to tell us what we can feel. So, however, though, it's helpful to tell you guys that are skeptical of natural healing and you feel that it's woo-woo or something. So the very first thing about sleeping is to earth yourself each day. And if you're worried about finding time, I would get up a little early to make sure it happens, Get out there. If you have, I know some of us are urban dwellers. If you're not, if you have even just a small garden bed, make yourself a stool or something, make yourself a rock or a little something to sit on with your feet on that dirt or feet on the grass. And if you're urban and city dweller, well, you're going to need to go to the park. You're going to need to find a park. Let's hope you can do that. Let me know and message me if you can't find a place to put your feet in the earth. Sorry about the glare. So that earthing, 15 to 20 minutes, and if possible, then make time to go in the woods here in Portland, Oregon. We do have Forest Park. We have so many different trails. And find a spot near these big trees communities. These trees are beings, and they are around you. If you sit in between them, you can be humble. If you can, actually, this is a side note, but take some, maybe get yourself a drum of bulk tobacco and kind of take a handful, as this is a Native American way, with all respect. You actually like offer that to the tree. You offer it like a few sprinkles around the trees, and then I would actually hold the rest of it in your left hand, because it's said to help you connect more with nature's messages for you. So that's not to underestimate that. And also as protection. There's certain protection for your soul with that, your spirit too. So yes, we've gone deep into woo-woo here, and yet take it or leave it. If you're not interested, go ahead. This is some things that are for sleep. So if anything is offered, if anything is wanted to be taken from the earth, which is partly putting our feet on the earth, it's suggested, to me anyway, it was suggested by a real medicine woman, Cree trained, and a real medicine woman, and to if you're taking anything from earth whatsoever, from nature, to offer some tobacco there, a little sprinkle, and a thank you. If you don't have the tobacco, then make sure you're saying thank you in your heart or out loud. Thank you, thank you. And find these trees, because what I'm saying, they're beings. And there's a certain way that you can actually, go forward towards the trees, and yet ask permission as well within yourself. It's just a way of thinking, and it's a silent question or inquiry to the trees. So it's a silent kind of communication. Don't worry if you don't feel like you're hearing something back. It's okay. Don't feel bad. Just do the best you can. And one thing you can do is, if you notice there's a yes no with your body, you can use your body as a seeing, similar to a crystal ball or a scrying pendulum. Pendulums, you hold them up and they go around if it means yes. And they kind of hold still, or they go no. Well, your body can do the same thing. So if you, let's say, it has to be a statement though, and it has to be a yes, no. And also there's a couple other tricks about that. So sometimes it'll go wrong if you don't have the time frame specified. For example, you could say, it's in my highest good and the good of all to move to such and such a place. And your body will go, when it's yes, you'll feel your body wanting to, just trying to lean forward. It may be subtle, it may be extreme. Like you might go, whoa, that's a yes. It's in my highest good, the good of all, that I move to such and such a place. And it's like, oh, you feel yourself rolling back. You're not trying, you're just sitting up. The back it means your whole body is like saying no, kind of like a pendulum device, okay? So there are a couple times when that's a little bit tricky. For example, you notice I didn't say when. So say my body's going, oh yes, I'm supposed to move to such and such a place. It's in my highest good and the good of all. But yet you didn't name the time. So it might be thinking the truth is like next year. Yeah, next year it's in my highest good and the good of all to move to such and such a place. That you're thinking, oh, that means I'm supposed to move right now and pack. So you better ask it again. It's the same way with tarot readings. Okay, this is supposed to be about sleep. So if you don't have tobacco and you're not used to hearing the messages from nature, when you go forward, you can kind of make a silent question. Is it okay if I enter here? Because you'll notice kind of a circle or a place, a little clearing that looks inviting for you to go lie down there. And that's where the trees are actually going to help heal you. The tree energy And the earth energy right there is going to interact with your being and energize you and help you release some things, and it's going to be amazing. So the thing is, though, to ask permission first, and if you don't know, you can kind of say, when you're asking, it's in my highest good and the good of all to enter now, is that right? And then your body will kind of go no or yes, and then you could try offering the tobacco and then ask again, is it okay if I come in now? So with sleep, earthing is really important, and you can do it in your own yard, your own backyard. You can do it in a nearby park. The main thing is that some part of your body, and preferably wearing cotton or natural clothing, but if not, just do it and take your feet off, but your shoes off. Don't take your feet off. But some part of your body is touching the actual earth. Okay. Now, another thing is our circadian rhythms and hormones that respond to light. Okay, there's a certain way that every light comes in around us. The sunlight tells our bodies, okay, it's high noon because the sun is up high in the middle of the sky. And then when the sun sets at night, when it's dark, and traditionally all we've really seen maybe is the flicker of a fire flame, cooking or going to bed, just warming up, or that would be like primal. That's an orange or a warm color flame or color. It doesn't wake up the brain. It tells the body and the hormone system, the endocrine and chakras, if you will, that it's time to rest and repair. And in traditional Chinese medicine, each hour and time frame of the 24-hour clock is focused on a specific organ or part of your body. So at night, now I'm not going to say this exactly, it depends who you talk to, but to try and get to bed by 10 p.m. because any hours before midnight, even 9 p.m., any hours sleep before midnight, they say, is worth 2 hours after midnight. Okay? And for example, like liver, what's going on here? Liver has to clean out, and that's a really key one around 2 a.m. and I think gallbladders around 3 a.m. And if you have food still digesting in your stomach, or if you have bright lights, the blue lights are on and stuff from the screens here and the telephones and stuff, your body thinks it's high noon, and it's never going to take care of those hormonal processes and resting and repairing during your sleep. And when that kind of keeps going on, you're going to bump into some chronic degenerative diseases, hormonal imbalance, and digestive issues, and just chronic, lack of self-nurturing. So, like really sick, really bad. It's not good, people. I'm telling you. So what you want to do is have a nighttime routine. Why? Because then you'll have something that, just like kids, we teach as parenting. We say we're gonna, have our dinner, then we're going to take a bath, and then we're going to read a story, and then we're going to go to bed. So what do you do as an adult? To treat yourself like a kid. If you're having trouble sleeping, make sure your exercise is done earlier in the day. That's part of getting a good night's sleep, is doing your exercise in the morning and get up early. Start getting up a little more and more early as you get better and better at going to bed at night. So your exercise isn't going to just jack you all up right around dinner time, and then you're going to be, if I know me, wired through midnight and just plow through the whole night, and it feels like, wow, I'm not tired. So don't do that, but have like a nice early dinner before the sun goes down, or right around that time you're finishing up. I'm serious, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. If you're in Europe or Mexico, that's a different story. We can talk about that. Yes, a siesta is one thing, and then going a little bit longer because it's cooler at night and you've been hot all day and sitting around and you want to do something. I get it. But right now let's just talk about where we're at. Portland, Oregon. Right now it's July 17, 2021. I'm C. Cummins. Let's go over some nighttime routines. So you're going to eat your dinner right around sunset, so 6 o'clock. Then you're going to, whatever, start like, I would go for a little walk after dinner. I think if you can go around the block or something like that. So eat a little earlier and walk around the block, take a 20-minute stroll, talk to a friend and go for a little walk, do something after you eat dinner. That's really cool, I think. Say, walk around, take your dog for a walk or something, but not a real big walk. And then just realize that you're really starting to wind down. So if you have a few chores to do, you're going to do your dishes maybe, but get to the point where you're about ready to like take a shower or at least like wash your face. Excuse me, wash your face. You could do a Pitts bath or you could just do a sponge bath, but if you're not going to do that, because you know what? That's the thing about sunbathing I mentioned earlier and the vitamin D is your skin creates the vitamin D based on sunlight coming in to you, similar to plants. And the natural oils of your skin, if you then, within that 24-hour period, if you then go and scrub your skin with different artificial soaps, it ruins the mantle. It ruins the whole photosynthesis of what the sun just did for you. It stops it dead, cold. So that's why so many of us have a vitamin D3, a vitamin D deficiency. And no, you don't get it from cow's milk. I hope nobody here is drinking cow's milk. And I talked to a client today that asked me, why shouldn't I be drinking cow's milk? And I don't know why my baby is getting a fever now since I stopped breastfeeding. And I'm giving them cow's milk. I said, don't do that. I'm honest. I just right to the point. I'm not going to tiptoe around. That's why they're getting a fever. Don't give them milk from a cow. That's fine if you're a cow, not if you're human. But anyway, so there's a good source of vegan D3. It's in Little Draw. I'm not sponsored by this, but go to Dr. Gabriel Cousens' website, or I have it right over. I could actually show you the bottle. Because I can't remember the name of the company, but on Dr. Cousens' website, COUSEN''S, Dr. Gabriel Cousens, Rabbi Doctor, he has the vitamin D3 for the vegan drops. You only need 2 drops a day, so the bottle lasts you forever. But still, try to let your skin be used to manufacturing the vitamin D from your exposure to sunlight. And yes, it's super important what you're eating and because you will burn if you're not eating organic fruits and vegetables. You're going to burn really bad. And also the sun tries to pull out toxins out of your body. The sun draws out toxins to release. It helps you purge. And yet if we've ingested a lot of cancer-causing toxins and they get drawn out to the skin, and we're not getting rid of it. We're not cleansing the colon, cleansing the skin, cleansing the lymphatic system, nourishing with foods that don't have pesticides and chemicals in the food, then it's going to be a hot mess. So then there's an erroneous blaming the sun for the C word on the skin. That's an error. Okay. Yes, it will if you're extremely toxic. So let's just don't get it mixed up here, though. Let's don't get things backwards. Let's go ahead and detox and be aware of, cautious with the sun, because if we're toxic and having a toxic lifestyle, and yet learn how to harness the detox power of the sun. Let's learn about that and don't get confused here. Putting more chemicals on the skin to protect against it is not the answer. Okay. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. Bathing. Yeah. So your nighttime routine, you've really set yourself up so that you're really getting ready to unwind for the day after you've had a dinner, not a real heavy dinner. It could preferably some soup or a savory smoothie soup. So it could still be raw vegan, blended with sauerkraut, miso, maybe possibly some cashews. I've kind of shying away from cashews for a while. I've always eaten cashews. And yet it was brought to my attention that they likely will have some form of hidden mold just by nature of what they are. But anyway, so yeah, you could use like sunflower or maybe hemp hearts or something to make the soup creamy. But we're not going to go that into it right now. Or just maybe lightly steamed vegetables with a little bit of tamari, things like that. And with quinoa, something light. If you can, I'm adding as I go. I'm saying a little bit heavier foods. If that feels way too light for you, you can make kind of a vegan cheese sauce and use it with quinoa and steamed vegetables. So you're having a light, healthy dinner that isn't going to make you A, get bloated, and B, it doesn't cause inflammation, and C, it's not going to cause a bunch of gas, and D, it's not going to be sitting on your stomach all night churning. So it's something that is going to be able to be light and digested. And no, we're not sponsored by the Ranchers Association or the dairy industry here. There's no worry about getting enough protein. Okay. You're not going to have any kind of deficiency here in the United States. We're overfed. Okay. Most people would benefit by fasting for a while, like a while. Maybe some of you guys are going to need supervision because you're not healthy, but a healthy person can fast, and most of us would actually benefit by not eating dinner. So don't worry about getting enough protein. You're getting too much. Most likely. There's just no danger. There's no danger of that. This is said with love. Let's see. Okay, so nighttime routine. Let's go back over it again. Early dinner, that's light. You're going to do some kind of a walk or maybe a little bit, get on your yoga mat with your foam roller and just do some restorative poses, some maybe light planks or core things. But this is not to exert yourself and get your body all over the place. No, you're not trying. This is not. You're winding down, just like as if you were your own parent and your child getting you ready to rest. There's going to be a time to wash your face, because I know I don't always want to take a hot bath every night, or and you might want to rinse off, go outside and rinse. Sometimes it's so hot. What I used to do too would just be go out in the backyard and put like a cold hose on myself, just hose myself off, and that way you keep that mantle of the sunbathing that you did. You can use some bronzers or a light soap on your pits or any places, you're behind or whatever. You could do like a little spot bath and, do kind of like a face routine. That's nice. Do some kind of a mask, maybe avocado or just some kind of, nighttime, and really get to where that you're honoring yourself with your favorite products, only the best for you. If you can't afford them at this time, imagine abundance, though, but create some recipes. Like grapeseed oil is pretty inexpensive, and if you go like to even probably Walmart, but get organic grape seed oil for your face. That gets absorbed really easily, and then you can add a few drops of different things, like into the oil that's good for skin. So you could ask me about that. I just don't want to get too many products here mixed together because some of the companies don't like that. But I have a thing that's a tart cherry that I also take to 2 tablespoons at night. It's very high in antioxidants, and it's said to be relaxing. So it's really cool, and it's not, it's fruit, and it's still like an hour before bed. But there's other things too, and it's supposed to be good for your skin. So maybe my skin will start clumping up more too. So I just started doing it a few weeks ago. And then I use the also essential oils with, so you can, if you're on a budget, get the grape, what did I just, what's it called? Grapeseed, right? I think, yeah, grapeseed oil. And you can make your own mixes, get little cobalt jars and have a routine. Even men, this is for men and women, non-binaries, this is for everyone. So one nice thing is just to like take, that I like to do, excuse me, is take like a hot washcloth and just put that on your face if you're not going to do the whole bath thing. Because I actually wash my face with like argan oil. I actually wash it. You just emulsify that, or the grape, I think it's called grape seed. Yeah, the grape seed oil. You can wash your face with that and emulsify it with warm water. I just like kind of hot water. It's just so calming, and it's right in here is where your vagus nerve really, this is calming. Some people say, oh, put ice there, and you don't even have to. My teachers just taught us to just lightly hold there. Sometimes it's nice with cool hands. You can do really cold water on your hands and then go like that. Sure, it's up to you, but just lightly holding here and in your own neck and even on your face and some points. Actually, this is really great. The face points is a really great nighttime routine. You might want to do that, say, after you've done your bath. You've already had dinner, you've stretched a little bit or walked around the block, the dog's fed, everything, the lights are starting to turn the lights off and lock the house up, turn off the sprinklers, whatever, you're going around, you're turning things down. And maybe pick out, a few, maybe a book or a journal. Like I started, I haven't always done this, but I found this, just came to my life because one of those corner, how neighborhoods have boxes where they give people trade books in there and stuff. Well, this was in there. It's like a very short nighttime journal that you just do a few answers about your day in it. So things like that, like just to look over your day. What was your highlight of today? What was, how did you know that you were in the presence of the universe, of spirit? Something that was, what was your high? What was your low? What would you do differently? Or what do you think that...
It's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock. What do you think that message is telling you or something? So a short journal entry could be good. Some recovery programs have you review that and look at, honestly, to see where you might have been acting out of fear during the day, and how could you, be acting from love, or if you were wrong, to promptly admit it, just, go forward from there. So that will help you sleep with peace. Also, speaking of writing, if you sleep with a tablet, some kind of a notepad, a separate one, this is different from your journal, but like a little notepad with a pen or pencil right there, so that if you find yourself starting to worry about tomorrow, if you start to worry about your to-do list, or you suddenly thought of something that you've been forgetting to do and its deadline is looming, then at least you can just reach over and jot it down, or even a dream that you want to remember. Jot it down and just put it down and then go to sleep, because you'll get it in the morning. So just that way you can let go of it and you won't forget. So that's important for some of you. I'm not sure I care about things that much to worry about it, but okay, knock on wood. Gosh, what else? Oh, but have a way so that your bedside lamp is not a blue light. A lot of these LED lights are so bright. They're for, it's to make your brain think it's high noon, and it's going to ruin your melatonin production. And that is huge towards endocrine health, even regulate, and the nervous system. And there's just so much tied in with what light we have. So let's get you a little night light. If you're going to wake up on that tablet, or if you feel like you wake in the night, it's really important not to have blue lights around your home, or bright white lights. Don't just turn it on and, wow, there's the light. you're ruining your hormones for that night. And it's like, come on, let's don't do that. Get it set up so that there's maybe things like, okay, you know what's really good are things like this. These are battery powered candles. And so, maybe you can have this along the walkway towards the bathroom or in the bathroom. Just have this on so that you can see, but this shouldn't activate. It's more of yellow. It's hard to tell with this camera, but it shouldn't activate. And if you have a better idea of something even less light, and it could be red, maybe get a tiny, the nightlight size light bulbs. Replace those with red or orange colored lights. So that way, anything after sundown, if you're serious, some of you can't get pregnant, you can't because your hormones are messed up. It's because of all the blue light from the screens all day long. And then you're waking up in the night looking at your phone or turning all the lights on. Light is really important. So something like this, to just figure if the sun is down, and blue blocker glasses, they've got an orange for nighttime, and not all are created equal, but they're blue blockers. Now I keep my phone and my laptop on night time all the time, and I found this free app. It's f.lux. F is in Frank, dot Lux, flux, and f.lux. And you look it up and you can download it. It's free onto your Mac or your PC. And it will actually, when the sun goes down, you can set it yourself. Can't see my hand. You can set it yourself so that when the sun goes down, suddenly your screen becomes more of a kind of a yellowish golden. Okay. And the phone has nighttime. You can have a nighttime thing, which, you know what, on my phone, I leave it on nighttime 24/7. I set it like from 5:59 to all the way from 6 p.m. all the way to 5:59 p.m. It's on nighttime vision. So I'm not getting all that blue light. You can do the same with your laptop. The only time you would really need to change that is if you were shopping for wallpaper or colors of paint, and you had to really have accurate, or you really wanted to enjoy some panoramic, photography or something during the day. Absolutely, turn it on bright. But the rest of the time, why bombard yourself with blue light? Okay, so you're getting your whole house like set up so that if you have to get up to go to the bathroom, or you want to write something down and jot it down in the middle of the night, that you have warm red lights, or soft on that red spectrum, or just gold, more of a yellow dim light, very, very dim light for during the night. And if you don't do it right after sunset, just still try to get more of those vintage light bulbs. Like I kind of have that right now, my banker's lamp. That light that you're seeing on me is pretty warm and soft. It's what's called a vintage light bulb. So you could try to find those for around the house. And that's my beauty secret too. It's very flattering too, usually. For the evening. I'm trying to get that clear. I don't know, glasses. Okay, so we're moving right along. This is a big project. And to do the bedtime routine video. But now when you guys are like in my office and we're talking about your sleep, I'll just say, go watch the video. And they'll go, but it was so long, see. Oh, well. Sorry. Maybe you'll fall asleep. You could sleep better tonight. Okay, I know it's not funny for those that suffer from it. Yeah, don't drink a lot of liquid right before bed, of course. So you don't have to get up and go pee. It's healthy to keep the window open. If you feel safe, you want to create a safety situation so that you can sleep with your window open and you're getting fresh air from outside. And if you feel like you live in a polluted area, well, get an air doctor and get some houseplants. But I still would say open a little bit. a crack then, just a crack. Um, because that's prana too. That's the earth. That's where you are. And if you can't breathe the air where you live, then it's time to really do some visualization and manifestation to move. You don't want to live there. If you can't breathe the outside air, then don't live there. If you do live there now, and that's where you're at, I have compassion. I'm not going to be that mean. But you do need to get an air purifier. And what was the other thing I said? An air purifier and something else, but I can't remember what it was. And if a bunch of, well, now wait a minute, you're probably going, but wait a minute, a bunch of light comes in my window. See, how can I sleep with it open? Okay, I hear you. If it's bright lights, yes, you absolutely want to get light blocking curtains for nighttime. It's just really hard if it's stuffy in there. Oh, houseplants, yeah. It's really hard if it's stuffy in the bedroom when you're trying to sleep. That's not healthy. You won't live. You won't have a long life if you do that. You just won't. You're not going to have good quality of life. It's going to start interfering with your lungs. So the house plants, like spider plants, now look that up. That's online. You can find that in any Google search engine. There's certain plants that clear the air for you most. A lot of traditional Chinese medicine, they frown on having plants in the room with you. Okay, they frown on that because somehow the plants are awake when we're asleep or something like that. So find out more about that, but there are some that it's actually okay. It's fine and dandy. And at least have them around the rest of the house so that it's kind of coming in, going back and forth from your room into the front room, for example. But I still do it now. I just went, what the heck? I'm going to have spider plants in there. I know they're good for the air. So I said, what the heck? And after all these years of traditional Chinese feng shui, often says, don't put plants in your bedroom. Well, I'm just like, well, I want clean air. So it's like, right? You gotta just make a decision and go with this. So, at this very moment, though, as we speak, I have 0 plants in my bedroom, but I sleep with my window wide open, and I have a garden right outside the window, and a lot of grass and pine trees. So that is me. So that and it smells so sweet and fresh. And you can sometimes feel like you're just being blessed, especially for you. That breeze just comes right in at that moment for you, like a little waft of sweet air from nature. It comes in just for you. So let that be happening. If not, I recommend the Air Doctor, because I don't think it has a lot of those blue lights on it like a lot of these Costco air filters have. They're just got all the bells and whistles, and it has to be blue light. Okay, wow, guys, come on, It's like, what? Can't you figure out that people need to sleep without blue light on? Make the light color red, or make it orange, or just don't have a light, Just all you need is an on-off button. Air Doctor is a little bit less invasive with the light. And then houseplants. And then make sure the light's not coming in at you. So you have curtains if you need it. If you don't need it, then sleep with your window open. The lights are dimmed. You have this thing by your bed. Oh, let's make sure that your sheets are organic and washed with non-toxic detergent. And I sell some. I sell a brand, which I would love to. I'm an entrepreneur, so you can ask me about that. However, just, you've got to stop using soaps and stuff around the house that's toxic, that's known carcinogens. It just seems it's the most, and it's so confusing at all why this is still going on in this day and age. I don't get it. It's in the food, it's in everything. So you don't have to. You have a choice. You can make a choice. Even Costco has non-toxic laundry soap, and I sell it too, but even Costco has a choice. Look around. You don't have to get these chemical soaps that go in everything that touches your skin constantly 24/7. It's on the clothing you wear. It's on the bed sheets you're sleeping in. It's your skin is drawing it in, as if the same as if you ate something. Okay? It matters. It matters. Okay? I feel like I'm talking to my mother. She just, I don't understand why I have blood. It has nothing to do with all the carcinogenic products I use. Okay, sorry, with all respect to my mom. Okay, all respect. It does matter. It adds up every day. So get your house, switch it up to organic clean products. Even if it's vinegar and water, white vinegar. I realize, you feel like I've been there where I went, well, these non-toxic cleaners seem really expensive. Why? Because you only need a few ounces and the rest can be water. So they actually last a very long time. And there's a lot of things you can do to make them yourself. So you're sleeping in a bed. So what is your bed like? Okay, it's clean. It's something that looks cozy to you. It looks inviting. And then you feel good because you had your bath or your sponge bath, or you had a really hot bath with essential oils, and maybe you put on great moisturizers. You put some coconut oil on or some kind of shea butter, and you used essential oils that are relaxing. Essential oils in the bathtub, yeah, and some that you put in a diffuser by your bed. Put lavender and orange and lemon essential oils by the bed. And if you have certain things you're working on, different oils are medicinal. They actually have therapeutic qualities. They're plants. That's what most pills are made out of. The pharmacy company, they can't patent a plant, so they'll extract stuff and change it around, and then they can patent it and be the only ones who can make money on it. I hope you know that if you're watching me. You already get that, right? That's why they're hiding and suppressing the information about plants, because it's free to us. That's our right as a human being, to have plants, not to destroy them and put concrete in a parking lot, Joni Mitchell. No, it's not our right, but it is our right to be kind and ask permission of the plant. They want to help us. The plants do. I know that's woo-woo. The pharmaceutical companies don't want to help you be well. They want to help you buy more bottles of their stuff and then have side effects so you can buy more bottles. Okay, but the plants want you to get on with your life. So they will come in as a plant spirit and actually help you. So don't be too little too late. Don't go too far down the road. Let's stop. Let's reel it in, people, and get healthy. It makes a difference. What you do every day makes a difference. It really, really does towards your health. Okay, so you're getting into bed. Now, with the bed, guess what? Another thing that ridiculous human beings have done. Put springs in the box springs that you're getting on that are metal. Okay, they're like perfect to like conduct electricity right through your body all night long. If you got metal fillings, or you got a pacemaker or whatever, and then you got your phone and there's the radio waves from the cell tower down the street, you just got it all going on in these box springs. What the heck? Like, do we think or do we think? So it's time to get rid of your box springs and any metal frames of a metal bed. I mean, talk to me. If you have some kind of, like, all your planets are ruled by Mercury or something, and you have to have metal, maybe, I'm sure there's one or two people, but in the world, but not really. That's why all the Waldorf schools, they raise kids to be calmer. They have wood grain showing in the rooms, like this I think it's Waldorf and Montessori. They want a calming environment conducive to learning. And so you walk in and all the toys are wood, the walls are wood, everything's wood. It's all plush and natural environment, natural fibers. Yeah, we're human. Last time I checked, I was skin and bones and, yeah. So we're natural. We are natural. We're beings. So we want to have wood furniture, especially when you're going to go to sleep at night. You don't want to be like conducting lightning or something as you're trying to rest, all right? It's like if you do have metal in your teeth, go down to Tijuana and get them removed safely. The dentists here, if they're Western dentists, they'll just go, oh, we'll take those out, yeah. Yeah, and then they'll just totally toxify you while they do it, and themselves. Why do you think they die so early? So it has to be someone who's trained in common sense. It's called biological dentistry, where they remove them safely. So, like in a suction cup, they don't let you breathe the fumes in. Why would you have metal as a dangerous, highly contaminated, or it's called dangerous. They have to have it a certain way. Unless it's in your teeth, for some reason it's okay to be in your mouth, but you can't. Otherwise, it's got to be safely disposed of, just like whatever they do in the medical waste system. It's highly toxic. But anyway, if you do have that, get rid of that. That's going to help you sleep. I don't even have all of mine out, but I don't have that much. But there's a place in Tijuana that I just got back from called the American Biodental Center. And it was recommended by my world traveler upscale friend. And so I went down there. But so the price for cash is a fraction of what it is up here. And they're aware and trained in how to safely remove metal. And plus, if any kind of cavitations or extractions, they use biocompatible materials. And while they're extracting it, for example, they'll put ozone in the the tooth hole place. They'll put ozone up in there and plasma, and then they'll IV vitamin C while you're doing it. And they IV you vitamin C the next day. So I thought I had chronic fatigue. It's still something that I'm looking at. But when I went down there, I could barely lift my suitcase up and put it up above the cabin in the airplane to go down. And then when I was done, and they took out some of these teeth that were decaying and cavitated, they did cavitation on me, and they did the vitamin C IV during the procedures, and then the next day I went in and they did vitamin C IV, like an hour. And when I got into the plane to go home, I was just like, oh, lifted up my suitcase, put it up there, super easy. So granted, it did not have this one thing that was in it before that was heavy, but I think it was just a small blender base, and it didn't have that in there on the way back. But still, I couldn't lift it at all. So this is going to help you sleep. That you have natural materials in your bedroom. Your room, we don't want it all dusty. We don't want to, that's not going to help anything at all. But the bedding, I know you can go to, like in Portland, Oregon, you can go to the bins. Maybe in your town or your city, there's a free place, a free box, or there's a Goodwill or some kind of place like that. And just start really telling yourself, I'm going to manifest organic or cotton and wool fibers. I'm going to manifest all natural fibers. Some of the strict vegans won't use wool, but I do. I'm not a strict vegan. I'm plant-based. I'm high plant-based, and I do believe in ethical sourcing. It's just that by the time I'm recycling the wool, I might as well use it instead of throw it away. I'm not saying so. That's another conversation. Tell yourself, write it down. Your list. This is on your list to find all natural fibers that are just yummy to you. That you just find it so cozy and luxurious, even if you have to find it at a secondhand place. Okay. Now, if you're someone that has an income and you're just spending it on other things, stop that. You're spending your money on other people, and you have money, bring it in towards yourself, and nurture yourself with your money. Okay? And get yourself an organic latex rubber topper, for example, for your bed. And if you can't get rid of your box spring yet, I would get rid of the box spring, but the antennas, coils, and all night. I can't understand why I can't sleep. Oh my God. Okay. Get a wood frame. You're better off on the floor if you can, than on a box spring or a metal bed frame. Oh my goodness. You see how absurd that is? Just put that out on the front steps. Let somebody else do it. Actually, put it in a dumpster. I pray that no one sleeps on that. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Again, you would be better off on an air mattress on the floor until you get yourself a wood bed frame and the organic rubber latex that's from the forests, okay? Yeah. So get the latex, get yourself a couple layers of what's really nice. Like my friend Susan she's got the greatest bedding and layers. She gets wool layer pads on top of the mattress pad. So like you get a topper, the latex, like rubber latex from the trees that's organic. On there you can get layers. You put the soft one on top, medium in the middle, firm on the bottom, for example. I'll tell you who made a great video about that. Is where I found out about it too. And then I got the topper after that last year. I don't regret it at all. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm ready to get the next layer, like the medium layer. Because IKEA has some fairly natural fiber stuff, or at least it's not going to be metal. And you could go to IKEA, or usually each town has someone who makes pine bed frames, even just a basic, like a futon bed frame that's made of wood. That's what I actually did. I think that they were $150 for each one. That was a double bed and a queen bed because I was opening Airbnb. So my mentality was, oh, I did that for Airbnb. But then I realized, no, you do it for yourself. So you do it for yourself. And I actually stopped. I took a pause. I paused the Airbnb to nurture myself and have a home to myself and figure out other things. So the people that have the video is Marcus and Cara, Cara, and Marcus with a K. So you should easily find them. And my friends know who they are. I feel like I'm friends with them, even though I've never met them in person. Someone that will write back to you on Christmas and chat with you about their recipes. That's so sweet. That's Cara. I feel like friends. Like it's Christmas Day and she's helping me with the recipe. Like it's just like so amazing. Anyway, and read about their bed suggestions. Also, they have some beauty product suggestions. They have food suggestions. All the things they probably have a sleep suggestion video. I would watch their stuff if you don't know much about health. Let's see. And their products, too. They have a nighttime repair formula that I think is also, which I also have great. It's called Night Rebuild. I think it's called Night Repair or Night Rebuild. In fact, I'm going to take some tonight. I'm about ready to go to bed because it's late. It's past my bedtime. I don't want to get all wound up and then watch this afterward. Oh, how did it go? And watch the video, and I'm up till like 1. So it's like, so I've given you a lot of really important things that a lot of people won't listen to. They'll just be like, oh, whatever. No, turn your phone off and turn it in airplane mode. Go turn your Wi-Fi router off before you go to bed. If you can't do that, some say it's not as effective, but put it on a timer so that it will turn off at 11, midnight. If you're one that likes to scroll before you go to sleep, have it on a timer so you don't have to get up and turn it off. It'll turn off by itself. The best protection is to unplug it. I've read some of the experts lately I'll tell you who's an expert. Summer Eglund. Summer Eglund in Sedona, Arizona is an expert and has access to experts on Wi-Fi and EMF pollution and how it harms you and how to protect yourself. And over on that page, I was really reading about how it's so much better to actually unplug your Wi-Fi router. And yes, make sure your phones are off or in airplane mode before you go to sleep. Don't wear it on your body during the day either. I had a roofer, couldn't understand today, working on this roofer. I don't understand why my hand goes numb. Okay, well, you've got your phone in the pocket right by that hand all day long. And it's on, going back and forth to Wi-Fi, the airplane, it's, or not air, to put it in airplane mode, or at least, even that's not best, but at least do that. And put those little magnets on. They're not that great, but I put like 3 on mine. They say that the back part is going to have less, so you face that towards you in your purse or pocket, but put it on airplane and turn it off. Because if it's on airplane, at least it's not trying to get signals right through your body from the cell tower. It's going right through your body to the phone, back and forth, all this. Boom, PGM, PGM, PGM. So we've gone over a lot of good things, and a lot of people will just poo-poo these things, and yet your body is this whole living factory, and each detail supports your processes. Each detail can either interfere with your living organism factory, biological factory of you, your hormones, your brain, your nerves, how your blood cells work, everything. Then you're going to say, oh, that doesn't hurt me, blah, blah, blah. No. Turn off the Wi-Fi at night. Get into a nice, cozy, organic bed that's been washed and taken care of with non-toxic cleaning materials, in a clean bedroom with clean air in there. So if you can't open your window out to beautiful pine trees like I do, then you have air doctor or house plants around you and block the street lights from coming in on your eyes, and even seeing them will ruin it. It'll just ruin the whole night because it'll disrupt your melatonin production, which leads to chronic degenerative diseases. This is people can't understand. I don't understand why I can't get pregnant. I don't understand why I, have cramps. I don't understand. Well, you've got to start going to bed at night. So we're just about at an hour. I think I'd like to keep it at an hour. Things like chamomile tea, but I would do this, at least an hour before bed. And if you like, sometimes I like to just read a book until I'm almost out. I admit, I keep it in nighttime mode, but I'll watch like some astrology videos to catch up on what's going on with the planets until I'm about to nod off. And so I try, or Dara, like I watch Dara at night until I'm about to nod off, and then I put it in airplane mode and then crash out. But you will get a routine. You can use chamomile, sometimes maybe just some CBD along your neck. I don't even like to use, people use vibrators, but I just sometimes put it on my actual neck, right in here and along the occiput. This is a very calming spot right in there. And then I'll put it on the points. Oh, that's what I was getting to. Let's do that last, and then we'll just finish up for today. Let's do some facial points. You can do them in any order, really. These are very, very powerful points. And even just a few minutes in each spot. There's a notch in the bone to the outside edge of the orbit of the eye. And I want you to kind of use, not your index finger, that's too aggressive. The third one, you could. That's okay. That's also aggressive. But maybe use your fourth finger. That's a little more soft and what we want before bed. And you use kind of like the nail part to find the notch. There's a noticeable, or you can use the flat to find it. There's a noticeable area that has notches in the bone, and that's an acupuncture point too. And it's said to it affects the vagus. Oh, I can feel it. It affects the vagus nerve, which is the relaxation nerve. Breathe through your nose, breathe out through your mouth like you're going out through a straw. And you find that spot and hold it. You just hold it there. You hold that little fingernail like it's almost a sharp feeling. You can rest your elbows on the table and to the sides of the eye there. I can really feel that working. It's very powerful. Hold that there for a bit, so and then you hold it. You can kind of do little circles and then sharp again. My thumb is sort of lifting up too. That's a little bit right in there. There's also an indentation behind that in the bone that's also relaxing, and that's going to be related to gallbladder health. You can actually roll up and kind of roll the skin upward into the temples and pinch and kind of pinch there and hold it up. I feel this pinching, a little pinch of my scalp. And it might seem a little sore at first, but ooh, yeah, it is kind of sore. Breathe. But back off, and it shouldn't hurt. Just kind of back off. Out. Breathe. Hold in there. So these are all gallbladder points, and the gallbladder will be healing and resetting itself during the night's sleep if you haven't stuffed yourself before bed and giving yourself at least 4 hours of not eating. You could take the black cherry that I use, the pocket cherry, fasting like that, or the nighttime rebuild that Marcus and Kara have, or both. In fact, I'm going to do both. Women that are experiencing hot flashes and stuff like that, just, okay, do the night rebuild, but stop all dairy products. Low, don't do it. Don't do dairy products. Don't do it. You would actually stop all animal products if you don't want to get hot flashes. Oh, okay, so we're moving to the inner corner. There's also sort of notch areas in there, but there's a couple different ones, and they're both equally powerful. They're all equally powerful in there. So I like to try to get as many as I can at once. I'm letting my elbows, my head's kind of relaxing into my hands. So it's like I'm resting, but then I'm kind of using the nails to be sharper, like into the acupuncture points. Like they're little mini natural acupuncture stimulators. Your own finger down. And it's not like insanely like you're digging your nails in, but they slightly are. They are slightly digging. And you're resting. And even I have like a thumb up here too, because that feels really good. Thumbnails pointing upwards. So it feels that sense of a little bit of a face lift, face uplift. Okay. So anything you get around the orbits of the eyes is really going to be settling to the vagus nerve. I can feel that. But then also around the cheekbones and the nostril flare. Now I like to get as many points at once as I possibly can. You don't have to. The main thing is I'm getting the nostril flare. Like in there, there's a little, if you look at any pictures of like a skull, I'll show you. This is a model for my craniosacral business classes. You can see how that's actually a hole right there for your nose, and we've been looking at the orbits of the eyes. So you go in there as if you were going along that hole. So right now I'm using my earth finger. That's the large intestine, and that large intestine is earth. Wow, that's wonderful. So earth is where you can release fears from the day, even just light fears and anxieties. You actually feel it coming out like a warmth. You might feel a sense of prickliness or a little bit of like suddenly like, oh, I guess I am having a sweat. That's not really a hot sweat. That's different. Your body is releasing inflammation and light fears from the day so you can get ready for bed to unwind. And then this, there's also a notch in the zygomatic bone. Like right, I don't know if you can see that, right in there. See how it has notches? What notches? Yeah, right, like in the zygomatic bone. And that is a really cool spot. It's really powerful. And I am using the third finger there, the fire finger. Why? Because that's the fire finger. Because those notches correspond where? To your sacrum. I don't have a model of that, but the sacrum is the upside down tailbone. And there's 2 notches in that as well. And you can just imagine that you're matching up these holes to let energy flow all through your spine, down to your sacrum, and those notches there. So it's going back, it's like a message back and forth to reflect upon each other. So the face and the sacrum are just beginning to settle with each other. Okay, so, oh, okay, I was afraid I was running out of time. So, yeah, those are some of the main ones. Now, the jaw is also really, really good. Now, this is more your water reflector. I don't know if it's going to be more reflecting and helping relax the pelvis. It may bring up more of the type of water emotions like tears. So that's better than storing it in the body. And maybe just, you can stay longer there, but I'm getting ready to wrap up the video. Okay. So I'm kind of getting the thumb in under the chin bone. Okay. And then pressing along your chin. So again, you can let your elbows, you can let yourself rest. You could do that while watching a movie or something too, before bed. If you had on blue buffer glasses, and if the TV is on night mode. That's the only way we can do this. Okay. Oh, hey, I just heard my stomach gurgle. So see, now that's another thing about the vagus nerve. Don't think it's weird if you hear your stomach gurgle. That means you're actually relaxing and getting ready for bed. It does not mean you're hungry and have to leave the refrigerator. Opposite. It's so funny. As I've been doing this with you, if you've been following along with me, and look, it's like the shape of a heart. My hand is like a heart shape. I'm pressing on any kind of swollenness is in there, in the jaw bone, and there's actually acupuncture points that we're also keeping along the side of the mouth. So there's all kinds of powerful reflexes, and right near where the vagus nerve exits the jugular foramina on each side, it comes out of the skull down, and then it innervates your digestive tract. It's part of what helps you feel good and relaxed. So, and then when that stomach gurgles, it actually means your liver and gallbladder are creating bile. You have to have bile to poop, really. Now, this is David Jubb stuff. This is not Western medicine stuff, people. Jeez, I'm so tired of it. Sorry, not sorry. So, let yourself sigh. Blow out, and then a little bit of just the ears, like just you could pinch with your nail a little bit towards that middle if you want to. Once in a while, that just feels like you have to, like you need to. Otherwise, you can just kind of go like that. See them? Just gently though, and then bring it around here. And I take the side of my hands and push in. And that gets that SCM muscle a bit. Oh, in fact, there's one more we're going to do. Oh my gosh, this is such a good one. This is such a great one. I should have done this as an Instagram live and then recorded it and then uploaded it to YouTube afterwards. You grab your shoulder. This is called the owl. I'm going to burp again. This is great. If you had to burp, that's perfect. That's perfect. That means it's working. These points are meant to help your body, process, get rid of stuff, and better out than in, right? Okay, so I'm grabbing really good. I don't know if you can see this. I'm like really grabbing that upper trap. And it hurts. It might feel sore at first, but you got to get a good grip on it. It's really important. So you're reaching on the opposite side. When I'm seated, I'm just sitting. I'm actually sitting, Taylor sitting in this chair, like kind of upright. That was some good posture. You're going to grab onto that upper trap and look towards the side that you're grabbing. And behind you a little bit. Let it try to relax that shoulder. But then this is the part that's really amazing too. You turn the other way. There you go. Woo. Breathe through the nose. And blow out through the mouth. Like you're going through a straw. Turn as far as you can. So you're going to really feel that. Wow, you could bring your chin over to make it even more so you're really toning. You're going to start toning, stretching that side of your neck. Slow motion back. And you can kind of grab it and massage it a little bit now to get it to integrate in. Okay. And then the other side. Okay. So see how I'm kind of, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. You have to try it to figure it out. But these fingers are grabbing the back part of the upper trap. And the thumb and knuckle are getting into the forward part of the upper trap. So part, and it's grabbing part of the SCM as well somehow. I don't know how it goes. Grabbing it. So right now I'm in a neutral position, so it's shortened and it's easy to grab it. And you turn over that way. So hang on tight, because when I turn the other way, follow along, hang on tight, and then slow motion. Straighten up. Turn the other direction. You squeeze that upper trap with that hand, keep a good grip. There we go. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Center. Go. Just kind of squeeze it out. Press on both of them. And then you can maybe just kind of pull your hair a little bit so that the crown chakra starts to open. You just kind of squeeze. It's not like you're pulling anything, but you're just kind of squeezing the scalp all around. So your crown chakra, and then along the gallbladder points. Think about the fact that you're going to really rest, get a good night's sleep, and your body's going to repair. So, thanks everybody for watching this. If you try these things, and you actually try like each one of them and follow these points, you will start changing your life. You will change your relationship to sleep. What do you do if you wake up? Okay, this is the last and final rule. And this is a Cree medicine chief shaman's instructions. Okay. Once you lay down, once the sun goes down, basically, or in your case, you're going to try to, I don't expect anyone to go to bed right when the sun does every night. But once you lay down, go to sleep. Even if you wake up, don't get up till the sun rises. You have to be sure, but that's like a rule. Just like you just got to have a rule. Like, I don't care if I wake up, I'm not getting out of bed. I'm not going to read, turn all the bright lights on, and start cleaning the house or eat something. I'm not doing that. Make a commitment that, and your body will begin to be happy and thank you. Basically, what it is, and this, I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head. I didn't know that I was going to mention this. It just came up. I want to say Cardinal, Don Cardinal, who's the teacher that took me on the medicine quest, the vision quest. And he said that the world would be a much happier place if people just went to bed when the sun went down and got up when the sun got up. That it would solve like so many problems in the world, he was saying. And so it's like a teaching, a spiritual teaching. So just wrap your brain around that one. And so when we were on the vision quest, we were told once that sun goes down, you go to bed. And so I did that for 3 nights. And it's kind of like that now with what I'm sharing with you, except we're talking more about 9 p.m., 9 and 10, 11, right in there, as long as it's before midnight. It's time to go to bed right now. So basically, once you're laying there and you're in bed, that's it. I don't care if you have to count sheep, count dolphins, count trapeze artists, whatever you have to do, you count them. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Love you. Love you. Get healthy. Get healthy. That's right.